Hi boys and girls, happy Wednesday. Today, for your task, this is day 7. You're going to be reading The Gardener out loud to a family member, a pet, a stuffed animal, whatever you want to do, you may do that. And then you're going to be doing a contractions worksheet, okay? That goes along with The Gardener. And then for math, you're going to have a little bit of a review worksheets. And then we're going to be going over our math packet, our new lesson for the day. And it's going to be working on fractions as a whole, okay? And then for writing, you're going to be doing cursive page 13 and 14. And then you're going to be doing your animal print to cursive. When I got some of your work back from this last week, I noticed some of you have been writing that in print. I need you to write that in cursive. It's helping you write paragraphs with cursive, okay? So we need to make sure we're doing it in cursive. And that's okay if you didn't. But just from now on, every time you see an animal print to cursive, that's what you're doing, okay? And then social studies, you're again going to read the article and take notes about it in the notes section. All right, so again, I found a really cool video online that's going to help us go over our fractions as one whole. So I'm going to play that for us real quick, and then we'll go over our packet. Sound good? Okay. Let me get my video all set up. Okay.
This lesson is fractions as one whole. It is chapter 10, lesson 7. Let's look at an example.
Oh, whoops.
Pull out of your book. Let's start by reading the question. There are 4 panes of glass in one window of Landon's classroom. And here it is. 4 panes of glass in one window in his classroom. Each pane of glass is 1/4 of the whole window. Okay, so here we see a fraction. So let's look at the picture. Can we see that fraction is, that this is true? It's saying that there are, each pane is 1. Oh, that's not going to work. Let's make that much smaller. Here is 1/4 of the window, right? Here is 1/4 of the window. Here is 1/4 of the window, and here is 1/4 of the window. Okay, so far everything they said is true. Here's the window. It's broken up into 4 pieces, and each pane, that's what these things are called right here, is a pane of glass, is 1/4 of the window. Here is the rest of the question. It says, how many fourths equal 1 whole? Okay, they want to know how many of these equal the whole window. How many 1/4 panes of glass do you need to make the whole window? Here we can see the 4 panes of glass all laid out in a row. We know that to make this whole window, we need all 4 of these panes of glass. So to answer the question, we need 4 panes or 4 pieces of glass to equal 1 whole window. What we also know is that 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4/4, because these are all in fourths, remember, 4 of them equals 1 whole window. I did forget that you would need.
All right, so as you can see, that video really helped us on that first question, okay? So I need you to fill out 4/4 and it equals 1 whole. So now you're going to write the fraction. How many parts are part of the window sill, the window pane? There's 4, okay? So write the fraction, 4/4. So there's 4 parts out of the whole thing. So 4 over 4 equals 1. Remember when I said in our, I think it was yesterday or on Monday, any number over itself equals 1. So this is what your worksheet should look like so far, if you can see that. Okay? And then now we're gonna place a point on the number line to graph this fraction. The model show that 4 over 4 and 1 share the same point and have the same size. So 4/4 equals 1 whole. So you're going to put a 1 in that first blank, and it's going to say 4 over 4 equals 1. So now I want you to try this by yourself. Where would you place your point on the number line? Go ahead and do that right now, and I will show you. I don't know if you can see that very well, but this is where you'll place your point on the number line. 4 over 4 equals 1, okay? So now let's flip it over, and let's look at this one. The fraction 1 over 1 means 1 whole, partitioned into one group. So 1 over 1 equals 1. Good job. So now let's look at example number 2. How many wholes are in 3 over 1? So you're going to think there's 3 parts and 1 whole partitioned into 1 part. So there's 1 part, 2 parts, and 3 parts, or equals 3 over 1, or 3. Because there's 3 circles, okay? So there are 3 wholes in 1. Okay? And now let's go to our key concept. Fractions as whole numbers. If the numerator and the denominator are the same, the fraction is equivalent to 1. Equivalent means equal, same thing, okay? So equivalent means same, equal to. So example, 3 over 3 equals 1. If the denominator is 1, the fraction is equivalent to the whole number represented by the numerator. So for example, 3 over 1 equals 3. Okay, so let's just put this in the perspective here. I'm going to write it down. So if you have a number that's 2 over 2, or 3 over 3, or 7 over 7, 20 over 20, any number over itself, we went over this. What is it? What does it equal if one number is over itself? Think about it. If you guessed 1, you are correct. Remember, any number over itself equals 1. Okay? And then, if a number is over 1, so like 20 over 1, or 2 over 1, or 6 over 1, or 7 over 1, that is going to equal, so this is what I'm showing you right now, that is going to equal the numerator. What is the numerator? The top number. What's the denominator? The bottom number. So in these examples, what is my numerator? In this one right here, 20. And our denominator is 1. So if you have a numerator that's 20 and a denominator that's 1, that is going to equal a whole, okay? So that's going to equal itself. So like 2 over 1 equals 2. 20 over 1 equals 20. 6 over 1 equals 6, and 7 over 1 equals 7. So that's what this is explaining in this key concept right there. So I just wanted to make sure we all understand that, okay? So let's go into our guided practice. Write a fraction to represent the shaded part of each whole or set of wholes. So you're gonna, how many of those, let's look at one. There's a square and it's broken up into 8 parts, okay? How many parts are shaded? Okay, or how many parts are there total? There's 8 parts total, so that's going to be our bottom number, our denominator. And how many parts are shaded? There's 8 shaded. So you're going to say that that fraction is 8 over 8, okay? So that means it's 1. because it's showing you that one full square divided into 8 parts, and they're all shaded. It's showing you that that's 8 over 8, which equals 1. Okay, so let's look at number 2. You have 4 little ovals. So what's our denominator going to be? If there's 4 total, what's our denominator? 4, correct. And how many are shaded? There's also 4 shaded. So what's our numerator going to be? You guessed it, 4. So what is our fraction? 4 over 4. Which equals, what does 4 over 4 equal? 1. Good job. Okay, so let's go over to independent practice. We're gonna do some of these together, okay? I'm only gonna do a few with you, and then we're gonna go over to the next page, and then I'll send you off on your own. Oh, sorry, I have the hiccups. So let's read the directions. Write a fraction to represent the shaded part of each hole or set of holes. So number 3, there's a circle with 4. It's divided into 4 equal parts, okay? So what's our denominator going to be? How many parts are there? There's 4 to this circle, okay? And how many are shaded? There's also 4. So your fraction is going to be 4 over 4, okay? And let's look at